So this week, we are talking all about making a sweet spiritual bath. This month, our medicine notes are covering lots of information around Libra season and its connection to the Orisha Oshun. This sweetening bath felt really important to share at this moment, not only because the sign of Libra and the Orisha Oshun both represent sweetness, grace, beauty, sensuality, softness, and being in flow, but it's also coming around a time where we really need those things. We really need that medicine in our lives. As we're living through so much heartbreak and so many hardships and just lots of things happening with Mother Earth in response to humans and climate change, I think that it's of the utmost importance to take a moment to bring sweetness into your own life. And I'm a huge advocate for kitchen witching, using what you have in your cabinets to create these medicine. Brought along some simple herbs that you might have at home, or herbs that are super accessible from your local bodega, supermarket, etc. To start, we are going to light a candle. In our medicine notes, we talk about using either a yellow candle or a white candle. I often opt for using a white candle because you really can program a white candle to be whatever you need it to be. If you don't have the yellow candles or the pink candles, a white candle is always sufficient. Next, we are going to burn some incense because you gotta set a vibe, and also call in that element of air. And this really helps, I feel, to set that tone for time for ritual, that ceremonial and ritual space. So I'm just sort of cleansing my area. And you will, of course, need a bowl with some water. And today we have thyme. I've got some fresh thyme. Thyme is really amazing because it helps us finding direction. It helps us in finding our direction and kind of sticking to the script. Sometimes during this Libra season, or even just in seasons of life, but it is very Libra to be a little bit indecisive. In our last post, we spoke a bit about having leaky boundaries and having a hard time sticking to your word or sticking to your course. Maybe it's because of people-pleasing tendencies, or again, that sort of indecision because you may have so many ways that you are able to go, but this will help you to find your true path and stick to it. Next, we have fresh eucalyptus. Eucalyptus looks a little different. This is California eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is great for purifying. It brings softness to the heart. It's a purifier, but in a way that is really gentle. It helps us to come back to ourselves. Eucalyptus is a great medicine for calming an anxious mind and for, again, purifying, setting boundaries, removing any negativity from your space. You can also dry and burn these, adding it to food or teas, or of course our spiritual bath. Then we have cinnamon. Cinnamon is an herb of Oshun, and it's also an herb for Libra energetics. Cinnamon helps us to tonify leaky boundaries. It also helps us to call in more sensuality within the self. It is like a kundalini herb. It's going to work with that root and sacral chakra, and it calls in abundance, sweetness. You can burn these cinnamon sticks as well if you wanted to use that to cleanse your space. But adding them to the spiritual bath is really going to give them that extra oomph. Then we have some roses. This is one of my favorite colors. That's the reason I chose it. But I feel like when you're working with roses, any color that really calls to you, I would say choose those. I just grabbed 3 roses. You can use as many as you like, or if just one feels good, that's okay too. But roses are, of course, calling in love and beauty. Roses hold the highest vibration of beauty, actually. But roses also have thorns on them. And those thorns remind us that while there is this, immense beauty and grace coming from someone, it is important to maintain those boundaries and allow people to, come correct, basically. And then we have an orange. For this banyo, we are gonna just be using the peel of the orange, not the inside. And oranges hold the essence of sunshine. They hold the essence of fun, of euphoria, of lightness, being light, of like our hearts being lightened. When we think of Libra, of course, we have that balancing of the scales. And we think about that image of the heart and the feather on the scales. How can we maintain having a heart that's as light as a feather so that we're not carrying all this baggage with us as we move through life and as we move through seasons of life? It's gonna help to brighten our moods, our energy fields, and again, lightening that energetic load. Then I brought some of our flower essences that we mentioned in our medicine notes this month. We've got penstemon. Penstemon is an amazing flower that's helpful for helping us to find alternative ways to get to where we want. Sometimes if we're manifesting a dream, we might be meeting some blockages, some obstacles, and it might just be because we're having a hard time seeing a different perspective of how to get to that space. So this helps us to find the easiest route for our highest good. Then we have calendula. Calendula is actually an herb of Oshun, a flower of Oshun. Imagine that bright yellow flower just shining its light on you. And that's exactly the energy that it's bringing into this banyo. We are going to be, filled with that brightness. This is one of my favorite essences to use, like as we move into the colder seasons with that SAD. This is that sunshine in a bottle that we need. Next, we have ocotillo. Ocotillo is a cross between a plant and a cactus. It has like long spindly spikes covered in green leaves. It's really beautiful. Ocotillo holds the essence of Chiron. So as you know, Chiron is the wounded healer. Ocotillo helps us to take our the pain and the wounds from our lived life, and Ocotillo shows us how to transmute that energy into our medicine, so prevailing over the hardships. And I felt like this was also a great essence to be calling into our sweetening bath. And then we have yarrow. Yarrow is the empath flower. Yarrow looks sort of like these floral umbrellas. It's kind of like blocking any negativity and like hater energy. So to be able to add this to your banyos or any water, anything water soluble, it's gonna help us to really fortify those energetic boundaries. And then we have our creating space and cutting cords spray. I'm gonna just pour some of this in there into my bowl, just to, again, this helps to fortify those boundaries, because while we might be moving through having leaky boundaries or having a tendency to be people pleasing, it's important to maintain cutting cords regularly. Cutting cords doesn't mean that you're like, piecing everybody out, kind of, hitting the block delete button. Cutting cords is about being in your own energy field and allowing yourself to feel and be yourself. Oftentimes we are really affected by the people around us, a lot of the things that are happening around us. So this really helps us to come back to the self and kind of block out all that outer noise. So the next step, we've got our candle going, we've got our incense going, we know all about the herbs that we have here. So how I would start is by taking my time. I would take my time, maybe branch by branch or maybe in a bundle. And what you want to do is put all of the leaves into your bowl. Time is easy, you can hold it and just sort of like press and all the leaves will fall right into your bowl. And you want to do that with your whole bundle. And then you can repeat and do the same thing with your eucalyptus. You can hold it and pull the leaves down or pluck one by one. And as we are going through these bundles of herbs and taking our time with each one, you are reminding yourself of your intentions for making this sweetening bath. What sweetness are you calling in? What sorts of feelings do you want to feel? What are you ready to put down? Getting into that meditative mind space is really important. Sometimes I'll have music going that really, puts me in a good mood, or sometimes I'm saying my prayers out loud. Because again, water is a very spiritual conduit. It can hold memory, it holds our words. So the more that we are speaking sweetness and life into this water, the more that it understands its job. So then we are going to, I would add the cinnamon last, but you can break the cinnamon and allow that to sit in the water. You can take each rose and smell it, be really present with this sweetness, with its beauty. And you can go and take, petal by petal, or just take the whole rose and put it right in there. And then we'll take just the skin of, the rind of our orange. So you can slice that off or use your fingers. I got long nails, so I'll be breaking everything with these. And then you'll add those into your bath. Once you have everything into your bowl, you want to really take a moment, maybe rubbing your hands together, activating your chi, activating your ashe, thinking of your intentions, placing your hands over the bowl or around the bowl. Again, setting that intention, taking a moment. And then you begin to massage all these herbs and flower petals all together. You're ripping apart the leaves. You are allowing the oils and the essences to really infuse with this water. And take as much time as you need. The goal is to have the watercolor shifted. You want it to be on the more green side. It might be a little brown because of the greens and the oranges that we have here, but you'll notice that the water is shifting. The water is absorbing and harmonizing with the energy of these plants. So again, take your time doing that, and when you feel ready, the next step would be to add your flower essences. 3 to 4 drops of each should be really sufficient. And once that's ready, you can strain your bath into a mason jar. And the goal with this particular bath is to do it for at least 2 days in a row, 2 to 3 days in a row. So you'll take this mixture, perhaps you'll add a little bit more water to it, take it in a bowl, take it in your bathtub or your shower, and allow your body to be submerged and really allowing that golden infused sweet bath to just run down your body, removing anything that doesn't serve, removing anything that is blocking you from your highest good, anything that is not in harmony with the sweetness that is coming into your life. I would recommend, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the herbs or other ways that you can utilize the spiritual bath water, you can head over to our blog. On our website, we have a whole section called Medicine Notes where you can do a deep dive on spiritual bath, all the things. Thank you so much.